Hello everybody, back here again for our vlog a day. And today is Monday, the 13th, 14th, I don't know, 14th I think. Monday, I know it's Monday, 13th or 14th, one of the two. But went ahead, got up stupidly early this morning. Set my alarm for way earlier than it needed to be. I had to get up extra early in order to go get my father-in-law and take him to go pee in a cup, because when we were at his pain management appointment, he couldn't pee in a cup because he was, I guess, doesn't drink water. He'd peed already that day, and he's like, well, I don't pee. I only pee like once or twice a day. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, how's that possible? Like, I drink so much water. I pee constantly. Like, I couldn't imagine what my life would look like if I literally peed once or twice a day. Like, it was just ridiculousness. So, went ahead. So, because he didn't drink enough fluids, I had to get up at like, I don't know. I was awake before 4. I know that much. I didn't need to be, but I was. So, went ahead. I had my alarm set. I basically backed off the time of getting to his house at this time, getting, working backwards as I go through, whatever kind of thing of what time I needed to be there. And I knew worst case scenario, I had to be at Quest. They didn't open until, I don't know, I think they opened at 6:30, whatever. But his point was until 8. I can't imagine Quest would take long if all he has to do is pee in a cup. There should be, really no wait in the line there. And I thought, worst case scenario, if we do end up getting, where we can't do it today, I'll have to go back up and do it tomorrow, whatever, which would not be the end of the world, but would still suck in the process. Or I just tell him to take an Uber over there, pee in the cup back to his main pain management office, and then pee in the cup there, and then it wouldn't be wait at all. Make the Uber wait, give the guy an extra $5 and save my hassle of going up there. So, had my alarm set, and as I was getting to go to bed, Karen basically apparently starts thinking that it's not early enough, like I need to be up sooner kind of thing. So I'm like, son of a bitch. So I'm like, okay, here we go. So she waits though until I'm already dozing off, and then I wake up and she's on her phone, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? What are you thinking? And she goes, well, I don't think your alarm's set. I don't think you have your alarm set right. And I'm like, you think I'm too early, or you think I'm too late? Like, what are we asking here? Like, you think I'm gonna make your dad wait too long? Because that's what I had the thought of. I don't give a shit if he has to wait that long or not, because he should have peed in the cup when we were there the other day. This is kind of his fault. So I don't care if he has to wait before his dentist appointment kind of thing. And then as back and forth, she wouldn't answer me. I'm like, is it too early or too late? Damn it. And she's like, well, I don't know. I just think it's wrong. And I'm like, I don't think it's right. And I'm like, okay, but do you think it's not right because it's too early or because it's too late? And she couldn't, okay, you need to answer this goddamn question. Like, one of these two, either you think, she goes, I don't think you're getting up early enough. And I said, okay, that at least gets us that part of the story. I said, why? Well, but with this and that, and the traffic, I'm like, there's no traffic. It's 4 o'clock, and we're leaving. I'm going to be there early as hell. Like, there's no problem there and stuff, blah, blah. And she's like, well, I just think it's early enough. I said, okay, you tell me what time to leave here. You tell me what time to get up and see what I need to do. And she goes, well, this right here. And she's all paranoid that we're going to be late to getting the, dentist work. We got to reschedule a whole other day because it's already been changed on us like 3 times. And last time we tried to take him there, he had the mental freak out because he was going through withdrawals and shit. So, I understand her thought. She wants to take care of her dad. She wants to blah, blah, whatever. But I've never gotten anybody late to anything in my life when it's my responsibility to get them there. Now, I have been late to stuff myself that was not the end of the world, not the most important thing. But I take that back. I did get a girl late home for curfew one time, but I broke the axle in my car. So, and I still had her back to the house. I think it was about 22 minutes late by the time I got her back past her curfew. And I walked to the door, told the parents what it was. That here's the tow truck receipt. Here's everything. Here's, this is what the hell happened. This was back before cell phones and shit, So I couldn't just call them like, hey, I broke down, whatever, come get us. So we had to, find a ride to get, it was a pain in the butt. So I theoretically did have somebody late something, but I was 16, 17 years old. Like, I'm an old ass man now. I'm like 45 or some shit. So going on 46 years old. And I don't recall ever getting anybody to an airport late, to an appointment. Never got anything that's ever happened. I've been late to a few things myself that are important. Like, we have like, hey, we're all kind of getting together for a barbecue. It starts about 2. I don't have to be there before 2. But I'll usually there by 2:15. Because a lot of times I'm there at 1:30 help people set up stuff, because that's who I am also. But I went ahead and I'm like, but that's what she wants. So I'm now in my own head. I set my alarm an hour earlier. And she goes, I want you up at this time, and I want you to leave the house at this time. I'm like, okay, bro, whatever. Because I'd plan on leaving later than what she'd said. I plan on getting up much later. So I set my alarm way earlier than it needs to be. And then that weird brain kicks in, and I can't go to sleep. So now I'm up, and I'm not able to sleep, and I'm like, son of a bitch. mentioned I did bullshit because this is way too early and there's no reason to be up this damn early. And I'm like, son of a bitch. And she told me she wanted me up this time. She wanted me to leave this time. I said, okay, whatever. Again, this is now on you because you told me what time to get up. Even if you tell me to leave early, and I would have, if it hit traffic or I hit a, turkey or who knows what, that wouldn't have happened if I'd left when I wanted to leave. So I get up, I basically get around, I get dressed, I get the dogs outside, I get the one dog who's a pain in the butt, who's aggressive, I gotta get him separated out, whatever. I get everything all ready to go, I get everything in the van I need, my cooler's in there, or my van, but my truck, my cooler's in there and everything and stuff, and I basically look at my watch, and I got 33 minutes before I'm supposed to leave the house. So I'm like, okay, so I now, what I do for the next 33 minutes? I can't go back to sleep. That doesn't work. So I basically, I guess I'll just sit here. So I literally sat there for 33 minutes waiting to leave. And she tells me to leave this time. So I pack up, grab my stuff. I throw the super aggressive shitty dog in the back of the truck, in the back seat of the truck. And then I throw the two good dogs in the bed of the truck. The topper's on, so it's all cool. So I chuck them in there. And then I drive the shitty dog to his own house where I get the garage door open. And now at this point, I'm having that weird time frame of what do I do if the garage code doesn't work? So my first time dropping the dog off, and I'm like, what do I do if this doesn't work? The garage door somehow is screwed up or is giving me the wrong code or whatever the hell it is. I'm like, at this point, what happens? Do I turn the dog back? Do I now just live with this shitty dog along with the two good dogs? And I'm like, God, this just, it kind of sucks. It really, on that point of whatever kind of thing, which I would have, there's ways I had plans, backups. That's who I am. So I get the dog in there, everything's good, drop the dog off, make sure it has food and water, everything's great. We basically hop back out, take the dogs to the bed of the truck, put them in the back seat of the truck, and I head up to get her dad, who I text and say, hey, just so you know, on my way, I'll be there shortly, I'm, leaving right now and stuff. And I said, are you awake? Because last time I kept there with women stuff, he was not awake. I had to text and then call him, finally wake his dumb ass up, and this is much earlier and stuff, so I'm like, okay, what the hell? So he responds back with, yes, come get me. And it came off to me as kind of more of a, you peasant, you come do as I say, you come hither. And he's commanding me to do this. And that caught me wrong. Like I said, I haven't got much sleep at all. And it hit me. Whew. I said, this is going to be a fun one. And I said, well, I'll be there just as soon as I get everything else done that I have to do today before I can come pick you up so I can take you. I listed off a few of the things I do. Take the dogs, drop dogs off, take dogs out, Been up, at this point, I've already been up for an hour and a half at this damn point. He's probably just woke up 10 minutes ago at most. Maybe got woke up by the text. I don't know. So I'm like, okay, cool, bro. And I said, so I can take you to go pee in a cup. And he came back with, hell of a way to start the morning. And I was like, So I thought he read my sarcasm into that, text message of, I'm doing this shit for you. I wouldn't put in the version of, come get me, type shit there. And I was like, he came back with, hell of a way to start the morning. And I'm come back with, what do you mean? Because if you're coming off that I'm being a jerk here, this is going to be a way different day. This is going to change so much because of your drug use and your abuse of your morphine. This is the only reason I'm even here today, because this shit was already done, scheduled, this was all taken care of before until you freaked out. So this is all me double dipping now and triple dipping onto my kindness and helping you out with this stuff. So I'm willing to help you out, but I got to keep redoing the help. If I wash your car and get it all cleaned up for you, here you go, and change your oil, and then you immediately drive down the mud road, and you're like, oh, my car's all dirty, I need my car, what? Bitch, I just washed it yesterday. You shouldn't have drove down that mud road today. This is on you now, So we're like, da-da-da, and he's like, oh, it just seems like a lot of stuff doing the morning stuff, and I came off with, I couldn't tell if it was him being a dickhead or him actually saying, oh, that's a shitty way to have to start a morning. That seems like a lot of work. Well, I don't have to do what you're doing. I couldn't tell which, so I kind of left it at, must be, I'm going to go with the fact that he actually is feeling bad for all the extra work that I'm doing today, and hopefully feels appreciative of what it is. So I get there, I pick him up. We then drive over to Quest. He goes in. I drop him off the door. He goes in, and I'm, texting him like, hey, they give you any update on how long this might take? Because I don't know if this is going to be, we might miss our 8 o'clock, dentist appointment type thing. I don't know exactly where we're at in this whole process time frame. And he doesn't respond back. I don't hear nothing. And I'm like, okay, do you not check your phone? Is your ringer not on? God damn it. What the hell? Similar stuff. And then I was like, okay, I would text him again. And then I saw what appeared to be his body shape and size get up, and I soon walk back towards the back, and I'm like, okay, shouldn't be long now, because he's got to pee in a cup. Hopefully, he hasn't peed yet today, and he has to pee a lot, because I said, if I pick you up, and you don't have to pee, and it's going to be bad because you're going to now miss the Quest appointment and then possibly miss your dentist appointment and stuff. So he was able to get in there. He basically peed in the cup. He left. He got back in the truck, and we headed over to the dentist's office, where we got there again stupid early because my wife told me I had to leave all this extra early kind of thing, whatever. So we get there, and we have a bunch of time to kill because I already left myself time to kill, but now we got extra time to kill. So I'm like, woohoo. So I'm like, okay. So we sat around there for quite some time. Dog's in the back seat, in the front seat. And it's that weird scenario of like, it's not enough time to go anywhere. Like, I can't do anything. And unfortunately, he's on the incompetent side enough that I can't just dump him the door and like, hey, we're going to go to the dog park. Have him text me when you get, you're coming out of surgery. By the time you get, awake enough from anesthesia, I'll be back here and I'll pick you up. Nope. This place is weird as shit. So we sat out there, we wait. They finally lock the door. We get him in there, start filling out paperwork and stuff. I said, here's my number. I'm sitting right here in the parking lot, same as I did a few weeks ago when I was here before. I've got dogs with me. We're going to sit in the grass. He goes to the right. I said, I ain't going to sit by that damn door. I'm going to sit in the grass because where my dogs are going to be. I'm going to sit on hot concrete because you guys want me to watch him. Like, he's a grown-ass man. He figured out stuff. So I go, set my chair up, I get my iPad out, I got my cooler out, I got myself a cigar, I got that baby cut, have not got it lit yet, got the dogs all ready to go. Like, I'm straight ass, like, I'm pimping at this spot. Like, I'm going to be here for a while. I might as well enjoy myself as best I can. It's a little bit overcasty. Unfortunately, where I was sitting, there was not much shade because the sun had not, last time I was there was a lot of shade. But it was one of those situations where there was a lot of shade there because, guess what? We had the issue of the sun. Now we're hours earlier. The sun is not blocked by the trees. But luckily we got a little bit of drizzle, a little bit overcast, so I'm not getting really hot yet. So they're hanging out. And I'm out there, like, literally haven't even cracked up my first, drink yet. Hadn't got my cigar lit, but weird. I got everything out. But then this whole time getting it all set up, and I get a call from the damn office that says, oh, you need to come in here. The doctor needs to talk to you. You got to help him fill out his paperwork. And I go, what the hell's the doctor got to talk to me about? You got to come in here. Really, the doctor's got to see you. You got to come in here. You got to help with the paperwork. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, what the hell is this old man doing? Like, what the fuck is happening here stuff? So I packed my chair up, I packed my iPad up, put the dogs back in the truck, I did the whole thing and stuff, and now where I'm sitting, I can see the building, but it's too far away, I can't leave the dogs there unattended. So I drive over, park the truck right in the front, have the windows down, I got the puppy tied in the back so he can't jump out of the back seat. So he's doing kind of stuff, and my dog's never coming out the front, so no big deal. I walk in, I'm like, what do you need? He goes, we need to help with paperwork. I said, if I'm an Uber driver, what's it matter? Like, what do you mean help with the paperwork? Well, the doctor got to talk to you. I said, okay, when's the doctor got to talk to me? So I got dogs in the truck, like I've talked about before. I don't have to sit here and talk to a doctor about some shit. And she goes, oh, the doctor. I said, when? He goes, when he's done the paperwork. I said, this might take him an hour. Like, he's slow as shit, the paperwork. He filled this same paperwork out a couple weeks ago when he was here and didn't have the surgery. Why is he filling it out again? Nothing has changed since then. And she goes, oh, you just got to fill it out. You got to fill it out. And I'm like, oh my God. And I want to scream, but I'm trying to be nice. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best to be nice because I don't want them to treat him like shit. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of, I got to be nice. And sure enough, I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like, when's the doctor coming? She goes, well, when he's done with the paperwork. I'm like, well, I'm going to back out my dogs because I thought it was going to take like 2 seconds. And what the hell am I doing here? And she's like, oh, what the hell? And I want to scream so bad. I want to scream. Are you stupid or are you a liar? Do you think I give a shit what you want here? Why do I got to watch him fill out paperwork? I don't know his medical history. I'm not his damn caregiver. I'm the son-in-law. Like, I'm not, like, what the fuck? I don't know if he had a gallbladder surgery or not. How do I know this shit? It doesn't matter. It was all there 2 weeks ago. It's a bunch of bullshit. So I basically go out. I'm back at the door and stuff. And finally, everybody else in the lobby goes back. And it's just him and I and her. And I'm like, when's the doctor? Well, the doctor. I said, what's the doctor got talking about? They didn't talk to me about last week or 2 weeks ago or whatever stuff. Like, just, what the hell you need? Treat me like a taxi driver. What the hell does it matter? This doesn't make a difference. I'm not, that you talk to him. And they're back and forth. And I said, all the paperwork will be in the bag after we're done. And she goes, blah, 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 blah. So finally the nurse comes out and says, are you here with him? I said, yes, I'm the same one that's here a couple weeks ago and stuff. And I said, the receptionist's like, oh, he wants to wait. He wants to wait in the car. And she goes, yeah. She goes, he's got to park right behind the door. I said, no, I don't. And the woman goes, no, he doesn't. He's going to park in the grass. He's got dogs. It's the same thing we already went through. I said, I already had this argument 2 damn weeks ago. Why the fuck we have an argument again? Like, you can't be that stupid. Like, you can't be that damn stupid. I want to scream, stupid or liar? Which is it, stupid or liar? Because either you're fucking stupid and you think I got to sit here right behind that door in that exact parking spot or in this lobby or in that goddamn lobby while he gets his teeth worked on, or you're a liar and you just are, I don't know why you're lying. Like, why don't you want me to be outside? Why do you want me to be in here with other sick people and on germs and everything else and fuck off? Like, I got no need for this shit. So I finally was like, yeah, I said, just text me or call me when he's done, as he's wrapping up, and I'll happily pull over by the back door or whatever. So I'm like, okay, no big deal. So I finally head back out there. Now I drive the truck back over to my spot again, whatever. Get everything all set up and stuff. And of course, the street sweeper crew guy comes through, and it's one of those giant vacuum trucks that's making a ton of noise and doesn't pick nothing up. I watch him literally drive over top of trash, and just nothing happens, making a bunch of noise, and just, yeah, whatever. So I get the dogs out, put the iPad on. I'm watching a little bit of Netflix or Prime. I can't remember. I think I was watching Prime. I was watching Clarkson's Bought a Farm or some shit, what the hell it's called. So I'm out there and stuff, get my cigar lit. I'm out there, dogs are chilling out. My dog's off leash. He's running around where he wants to, kind of laying around me. And the puppy's tied up so he can't, run off because I just don't trust him not to chase a squirrel or something stupid. So I'm like, okay, cool, no big deal. Get there and stuff. And all of a sudden, I'm, out there for what seems like a long ass time. They said last time it was going to take 35 minutes. He was there about 2 hours, 2.5 hours this time, whatever. And then I look at the hell, and there comes that nurse wheeling him out in the wheelchair going, hello, hello. And I'm like, excuse me? Hello, Mr. Jones, hello. And I'm like, I'm not Mr. Jones. You guys know you have my number. You've already called me once. I'm going to come back in and talk to you. That you didn't need to talk to me and stuff. So I'm like, what the hell? So I start packing my shit up. I'm like, she knows I'm parked over here. She even told the lady I was parked over here and stuff. So she walks all around the building, back and forth around the building, yelling the names and stuff. So I pack my stuff up and I go to drive over. Because again, they haven't even called and texted me yet. And I basically, as I get there, I'm like, get all my stuff put in, get the dogs put away and stuff, get everything put back up. And she's about halfway across the parking lot. By this point, it does me no good to drive my truck over to her because she's already halfway here. So now I'm going to park in the middle of the parking lot as opposed to the spot. So she wheels him up there. We gave him a chair, put him up. She goes, all his paperwork's in the bag. Everything's good to go, yada, yada. So I'm like, okay, cool. They said these teeth should be at home. He needs to put them in and stuff. He needs to make sure he's getting teeth. If he doesn't have his teeth at home, he didn't say put them in. She goes, if he doesn't have his teeth at home, you need to contact us, and then we can basically go from there and find out what's going on. But we already gave him his teeth. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And she says again, all of his care information is in the bag. And I'm like, after care information, I said, okay, cool, no big deal. I got this. I am absolutely good on this. The care information's in there. Doesn't bother to tell me, anything else, just care information there. So guess what? I go through and I'm cool. I head home. I drop him off. I basically get there. We drive over. We got the dogs. We're all chilling out. And I get him in the house. I make sure he has to pee. He doesn't have to pee because he never has to pee. So we're sending stuff and whatnot. So we get him set down. I'm like, just relax. Keep the gauze in your mouth. Chill out here. Do what you got to do. And all the fun that comes with it. I open the bag up. And it's just his old teeth. Not his new teeth. I don't have a clue. But I don't care. No care instructions. So now I'm on the phone with them. Trying to figure out what the care instructions are. And whatever. And then she tells me the fact of, oh, here's what I guess it's right here. We didn't put it in the bag. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, she goes, well, did you have it from last week? I said, no, he didn't have a procedure 2 weeks ago. So I don't have it from the last time he was here. You guys never gave us anything because you kept it all because he wasn't needing it. I said, can you email it to me? No, yeah, I can. Whatever email's on file and stuff. I said, can't email it to the one on file because she goes, well, yeah, we'll just email it to the one on file. And I'm like, I don't care what email you have on file. It doesn't help me any because that's, I assume, his email. I don't have access to his email. He's doped up because you guys doped him. I can't check the email, so just send it to my email. Oh, yeah, we just don't have it on email then. I'm like, really? Because literally 30 seconds ago, you had it on email. And I'm like, she goes, well, let's drive back over here and pick it up. And I'm like, no, I can't because you guys are telling me he can't be left alone after he had surgery, which is why we had to schedule it today and stuff. And I had to change my whole life around and stuff because he said he couldn't be left alone and he can't be left alone and da-da-da. So now I can't leave him alone for the hour to drive back over to you guys because it's a long ways over there and get the paperwork and come back. And I have dogs here and stuff. And I'm like, son of a bitches. So I said, what the hell? So I'm like, she goes, we'll email it to him. And I'm like, okay, how are you going to email it to him? We can't email it to me. And I'm like, offer to fax it to me and stuff. She goes, oh, we'll get it to you. I'm like, okay, whatever. So supposedly she's now going to email it over at least to him and whatnot and stuff. And I'm like, okay, who gives a shit? She reads me the descriptions and it basically says some general big beats of, blah, 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 whatever. And then it says, make sure you don't take your dentures out for at least 24 hours. And I'm like, excuse me? Like, what do you mean? She's, oh, yeah, he's supposed to put his dentures in, but he didn't bring them with him, so we could not put them in. You could have asked him that when he got there. You could have reminded us on the way there. You could have, a bunch of other things that could have happened. Or while I was waiting there doing nothing, we saw waiting for him to come out, I could have drove to the house, grabbed the dentures, came back stuff. So I go and find his denture. Now he's all doped out of his head, what they should have already put in, as the gums are starting to swell. They're not going to fit very well. He's trying to put the gums in. He can't get the dentures in and stuff. Oh my God, it's a fucking mess. It's absolutely a mess. Talk to them about the stuff. Don't mention, that's basically it. That's a big beats. Don't eat food for 3 or 4 days. Nothing that even oat milk can get underneath the gums, in between the gums and the plate, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. And I'm good. I'm like, okay, we're out of here. No big deal. So I hang out there for the next few hours and never got the email, never got nothing. So I finally called back up, complained again, like, where the hell's his email at, kind of thing. So finally got them to email it over to me after the second or third time calling them. Complaining, I said, I still never got this shit. Like, get me an email. So third time over, they finally, which actually was a whole nother person that I got the email thing, which was ridiculous as all get out. So it is what it is there. But so I basically, no big deal. We got it all done. I hang out with him. I'm going back and checking him every 20, 30 minutes. The puppy's whining in the garage. He's tied up. Bruce is running free again like he is because Bruce stays close. The puppy doesn't. So we're like, okay, whatever and stuff. Finish my cigar and it starts raining. Like it starts pouring down rain. So I back the truck into the garage where the topper is inside the garage a little bit. So I have the iPad set up there. I'm still in there and stuff for hours to get him where he now I feel like he's capable of, figuring out his life. Problem with it is his anesthesia just wore off over an hour ago. Now it's all that's in his head. Now he wants extra. He wants to be babied. He's as good now as he'll ever be. As good now as he'll ever be because anesthesia is completely out of his system at least an hour ago. And he's still acting like he just can't focus. He can't understand his stuff. He don't know what's going on. So I'm like, really? Because this sounds like dementia then. Not anesthesia. Anesthesia's wore off. Like, I know how shit works. So I'm like, whatever. So I head out of there. I head home, gotta go back, pick up the mean dog. I head out and picked up. I do the whole thing, get back here, play with the dogs, get the dogs out, basically put that dog away. I keep the dog separate, and it's a pain in the ass. So I get all that fun stuff done. Yay! Karen finally gets home from work. I was able to get my run in, get my shower, all that stuff taken care of, and basically we ended up having ourselves a lovely evening together. We chatted, we talked, we watched a little bit of TV, ended up on the patio, had myself a wonderful cigar, and wrapped it up and called it a day. But that was the fun with Richard and the dentist. So anyway, that's all I got for right now. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe, wonderful day. Thanks for watching.